Alright, so what we're doing is trying to remove this bed by myself. Oh, I said we. It's not we, it's me. We'll let the truck run because it's got bad gas in it. I've started it and stopped it a couple of times. Hopefully, this will actually work. Nope, that's not going to work. I need a way of picking that thing up. So, what I'm going to try and do is get it to slide backwards. At this point, I should be able to do it. It's a dump body. Okay. That's a little sketch ball, but because I don't know how I'm gonna flip this once I have it out. I don't have any heavy equipment to move this thing around with. I've got to figure out how to do it, manhandle it, which isn't really working. Be back in a second. Thing to understand here is I got this bed on there with 4 people plus the dolly, and it was on a trailer already. We didn't have to pick it up that high. Now I'm trying to figure out how the heck I'm going to get it off the truck by myself. I should have measured before we put it on. Would have been a lot easier just to flip this thing over up top and use some kind of cart or something to wheel it down. But we are here, and it is what it is. Hey, look at that. Maybe just pick it up. Nope. That works. I'm gonna keep shimmying it that way a little. I think. Whoa. Oh. Can't do it by myself. Yeah, long arm my powerlifting days that I never did. Oh, what's going on? So, as you can probably tell, it's flipped over. It's been moved. I ended up having to have a buddy come over and give me a hand at least getting it off the truck. I slid it back my way, you know, turned it in so that I could work on it and get the welder to it and everything. For instance, so all I ended up doing was I stuck these boards down that were originally across the frame rails here to there. And I just coated them in soapy water and slid it. Luckily enough, it rests on the headboard. So I removed some of the boards that way I can get to the area that we're going to be welding. I got to cut this stuff out and everything. I got to do a little bit of cleanup. This is a bunch of used engine oil. What I use for like oiling stuff down, oil undercoating and stuff. And we've had some other projects, home projects that I've been doing. So working on that. And I got stuff everywhere still. Unfortunately, I picked up a little bit, but so give me a bit here, and I'm just gonna set you guys up on time lapse. I'll bring in one of them, you know, cutting certain areas and stuff. But that's the gist of what's going on right now. Going on, guys? Alright, so doing a little bit of cleanup and everything. I got the floor swept and the oil cleaned up, a little bit organized, all that. So what we're going to be doing now, I need to get this mess all cleaned up and the weld table and all that cleaned up. So I'm going to be doing that. Top of the toolbox, obviously. I'll bring you guys back a little bit once I have it a little bit more organized. What's going on, guys and gals? So, gonna be doing some cutting and everything. I need to get these rails off. These ones here. Oop, bright. Not so bright. Need to cut all the welds on those. Get it off. That way I can cut them up and move them where they need to be. And then we'll be getting the bed welded back up a little bit here. got one rail off. It's not exactly an easy job. So got that one off. I'm just throwing everything back in the garage right now. Had to use a little bit of angle grinder and a little bit of die grinder with a cutoff wheel on it and everything else, but they welded it kind of funky. I don't honestly know how they welded it on. But you can also see that weld wasn't really holding anything. So I cut that one and I cut that one because I knew that they were there. And then each one of these on either side of these rails. And I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that. All the way down to the end, and then cut the end. And cut through that. And the thing just, I smacked it once with a hammer and the whole thing kind of fell off, and then just pushed it up and back down. And it actually just popped out of that weld. And didn't really rip any material off or anything. So, but I gotta get the other one cut off. Probably gonna do that in the morning. It's not late here, but you know, it's about 8 o'clock, and I don't want my neighbors getting upset with me or anything. Start, you know, ankle grinding and everything else, and air compressor going. So I'm gonna work on it in the morning a little bit, and hopefully I can get it done. The plan is to actually lay these things down this way with some plates on top of these cross rails, these ones, and weld the plates to the cross rails, and then weld these beams laying flat, the C-channel laying flat against them, and weld those to the plates. And then I could just drill holes straight through where the frame rails have holes, or just make new holes in the frame rails. Sandwich the boards in between, be done with it. I was going to try and cut these on angles and everything else, and there's no reason to do it. The reason why I was going to do that is because the frame has a kick in it. But what I found was these are wide. These cross rail or main rails are wider than the frame rails themselves. So I can just kind of split the difference and have full contact. And it also is a little bit better for overall strength. I don't understand why they did it the way that they did. This is a homemade bed, I think. They didn't do a terrible job. But I'm going to figure out wiring and stuff. But yeah. I'll bring you guys back once I have these cut off and I've got some plates made, and start getting those welded in. And then I'll bring, I'll show you guys the process of what the idea is behind that, and splitting that difference and everything. So see you guys tomorrow. All right, bye. What's going on, folks? All right, so I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what I'm thinking and what I mean by finding center. Let me just find a tape measure real quick. Yeah, let's go take a look at this frame rail real quick. So, I already know mounting holes, the ones I'm going to use. We already talked about that kick in the frame. So what I can do is just measure from hole to hole, and I can see we kind of put the other one on center, this one on center, about 41 inches. And then we go to this back hole. We put this one on center, about 39 inches. So all we have to do then, when we lay this stuff down, back down, is we mark for center on this, and when we put it up here, before we tack, we get it all, squared up and all that stuff. We just make sure that centers are 41 inches on them, or sorry, 40 inches, because you take, you take 41, take 39, what's in between the two of them, 40. All right, that's a good split the difference. So right now what I need to do is I need to make mounting plates, and they're going to be roughly these, and these are 4-inch by 4.5 because this material is 3-inch, I believe. Give me a second. I'll grab that tape measure again. So this material is 3-inch. This material is 4-inch. So we'll lay the plates down there like this. We'll weld these up so we can weld on the outside over here. And then when we put our stuff on here, this is 4.5 inches wide. So then we can weld on either side of that. Makes it a little bit better. And it makes it so that I can just drill straight through this stuff and to the frame rail, you know, mark the frame rails out and everything, and or the holes that are already in the frame rails, and be done with it. So I got a little bit of cutting and grinding to do. So I'm sorry about the noise in the background. That's the well pump running right now. But either way, so this is Dicom. It's a layout fluid. Makes it easier to just mark it real quick and get center line and then all my edges marked and everything. So what I actually use on this, hold on one second. So when you use this, you're really not supposed to use, you know, verniers in order to mark things out. It's a machinist no-no. I found I have a really nice set of Brown and Sharp that I use for all of my machining, you know, and I don't do any scribing or anything of that with. And then I've got a Hornaday made set, which is a nice, you know, backup where I'm doing dirty work, but I just kind of want something quick that I can grab. I'm not doing anything precise. I don't have to worry about clean area. And then what I found is it just makes sense to have a cheap set of Harbor Freight digital ones. And these are the ones that you use for things like scribing. You're not going to be too upset if the tips get worn off or anything of that sort. Oh, camera's a little bit dirty. And, you know, they're not great. They're, you know, super cheap. I think I paid $10 for these. And you know what? They get the job done. So I'm going to scribe center line of all these plates. And then off the center line, I'm then going to mark 1.5 inches out because that'll be the width of those. And we'll get them ready to go. And get them on there. Get them tacked on. And we'll go from there. All right. Talk to you guys in a bit. So that's it all marked out. So we've got, this is 4 inches, center line of the 4 inches, and this is 3 inches. So it sets everything up so we can just place it on there, tack them on, be done with it. No putting a tape measure up there or anything. Alright? So let's get to cleaning up that bed. So everything's ground to where I need it. Can't really see that one because the light's terrible. So what I'm going to do is set it up. I'm going to take my MIG and just spot weld them in. I got to mark real quick where center line is though. Going on, guys and gals. So I got the plates fully welded on. Yeah, let's show you. I'm not the best stick welder in the world, but I'm happy with it. It's 6011 rod, so it's not pretty anyways, but it's all welded up. Oh, come on, focus. Focus. So, what we're doing now is we need to, oops, sorry, bumped you guys. We need to, I got this all clamped up here, and I'm going to be welding this in. Okay, so we've got this one welded in. There, 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 and down there. Now we've got two 36-inch pieces of wood here and here. We're going to just place the last beam there. This is the small minion. Yeah, yeah. She's helping with learning how to weld today. Or at least just helping Dad. But, so we're going to get that thing in there. Get it tacked in and get it welded up. But, we're almost there. How's it going, everybody? So, this is pretty much where we're going to end this one. There's not much more to show. I mean, everything that's left to do with the Chevy, I've got to be underneath it doing the wiring for the lights and stuff. I'm still waiting for that to come in, waiting for the hardware to come in. We're gonna put a bolt every, so often here, there. We can't really put one down here just because there's a gap in between the frame rail and that, but we might be able to fit one in, you know, right there. I know it's a little dark right now. That's just what we're dealing with. I just got home. So, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows how to use the drill, and it's all lined up and everything now. You can see here. I mean, this one's sitting flush with the frame rail. This one's sitting flush with the frame rail also. It's just the board's in the way. Scoot it over a little. Can't really scoot it over. So that's it is what it is. So the next project that we're going to be working on, because we're moving away from this, I'm going to call this done. There's not much more that I'm doing with this truck. It does need a few other things, training dipstick tube, all that, but it's a lot easier to do on a lift, and I don't have that here, obviously. So the next project that we will be working on my channel is most likely the Comanche. We're going to get that in here, get the floors torn out of it, and get some sheet metal into it, just because I need to get that thing done before snow really starts flying. Project shouldn't take that long, so we'll deal with that. But that's where we're at, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed, you know, at least just tagging along with me while I was working on this bed. I know it's a lot of time lapse and everything. It's difficult to kind of show everything that's going on. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. I know I'm way late on this one again. It's been, you know, a struggle, family life, everything else. So like everyone else deals with, I want to make this channel grow, but I can only invest so much time per day, and we're obviously running out of light every day as we get closer into winter time. All right. Well, either way, look for us on Instagram. Do that like and subscribe thing. Share the channel. I know I'm not doing anything super exciting, but I'm trying to do regular projects, you know, that every guy can, you know, get into his garage and show how it can be done with simple, you know,